Yo guys, what's up? We got college football Saturday. Before you skip the intro, I know a ton of you guys do, which I understand. That's perfectly fine. If you're ever going to not skip an intro and listen to it, today and tomorrow's videos are the days you should not be skipping the intro. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm going to fly through everything. But the video or the picks I have in this video, we got 6 plays. It pays out 10x on Prizepicks. I'm going to explain to all of you guys how we on this channel are going to be getting 18x if this play hits instead of only 10x. So you guys need to listen to the beginning of this video. But real quick, like I said, fly through it, 2 minutes. Here we go. So we have been doing really well on the channel. This week since Monday, we have cashed in 3 different videos. We are on a 9-3 run. If you just, count the legs individually, if you count the actual plays, we hit on Monday Night Football, NBA Wednesday, and then tonight we hit in College Football Friday right here as well. So now going into what I wanted to talk about, this play cashes. We have 6 plays today. That play is going to cash for 10x on Prizepicks because we have a couple goblins in there, and Prizepicks has been screwing everybody over with goblin plays. You put one in there and it basically notches it down from like a 25x play to a 10x play, and this play is worth more. So if we cash again today, like we have been this week so far, I want you guys to get as much money possible for that play. So what you need to do is you need to have the Sleeper app, okay? If you're in any one of these white or gray states, including even Canada, make sure you have the Sleeper app. If you do not already, go down. I'll link it down below in the description in the comments. Download Sleeper. It asks you if you have a promo code right when you sign up. Make sure to use code GHOST. It is all caps right here. It's just code GHOST. And then you get a $1,500 deposit match as well. So they're giving you $1,500 for free. That is a limited time deposit match. Normally it's only $100. Every app is basically at $100, but Sleeper for right now is all the way up to $1,500. So make sure to go get your free $1,500 and lock this play in on Sleeper because they will pay you more. I'll show you the screenshots at the end of the video, but make sure it is so important to all go get your free $1,500. Okay, that is literally the easiest way to make money sports betting. Deposit matches are so good, and they're literally free. So go download Sleeper using code GHOST. As long as you type in that code before you deposit, you will get your $1,500 deposit match. So free $1,500. And again, you want to lock this plan on Sleeper. Sleeper always pays more than Prizepicks. It's pretty annoying, but that's just how it goes. Guys, make sure before we hop into these picks, make sure to drop a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. It takes 2 seconds to do. Also, don't forget to subscribe because like I said, we've been cashing on this channel. Who else is that consistent? So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the free pick videos I drop every single day. But I think that was maybe 3 minutes, but let's hop into the video regardless, okay? The first team and the first play we're going to be going with is going to be right into the Maryland versus Iowa game. So we got our boy Billy Edwards, who has made us so much money this year. We're taking him over 222.5 passing yards. That is disrespectful. This guy's averaging over 250 a game. He is one of the most consistent quarterbacks in college football statistically, okay? Don't come for my neck. When I say that, I just mean that this guy throughout the whole season is very consistent at hitting like 240 to 250 passing yards almost every game. However, these last 5 games a little bit different. He had a game with 335. That was his last game. And then he had one with 373. He had one at 300 yards. So he's been killing it. He had 2 down games against Minnesota. That was a really bad game. And then Oregon, obviously, is the number 1 team in the country. He had 206. That makes sense. He's playing Iowa in this game. They are not a great passing defense. I really don't know why his line is this low. I think it's just because he had 2 really, down games right here. But this is a home game for him. The weather should be good. They're not a great passing defense this year, as much as I'm sure I have Iowa fans watching right now that hate that I'm saying this, but it is true. Not only are you guys not great at defending passing yards, you're also not great at defending receiving yards. So we're going to be pairing him up with his boy Prather. So I would take Felton in the situation because Felton really is their wide receiver 1, and he is the guy that they love to go to. However, Prather has been very underrated this year, flying under the radar, and he is very, very solid. So we're going to be taking him over 44.5 receiving yards. Normally, his line is at like 60 or at least 55.5 receiving yards. So 44.5, way too low. Iowa, like I said, bad at defending quarterbacks' passing yards. They're even worse at defending receiving yards. So they specifically give up a lot of those receiving yards to the wide receiver position, not really the tight ends or the running backs out of the backfield, specifically the wide receiver. So I like Caden Prather over his 44.5. What I really like is this is a very correlated bet. So you guys can see he's hit this game, missed 2, and then hit that last one. I'll go back to Billy Edwards real quick to show you guys how correlated this is. Billy Edwards right here, he's hit those 2 games, missed these, and then hit that. So pretty much you could go back throughout the whole season. Pretty much every single time Billy Edwards goes over that passing yards, Caden Prather goes over his receiving yards right there. So very, very correlated play right there, which is why I like that play so much. The next play we're going to do is going to be Restrepo over just to get a touchdown. This is going to be one of the Goblin plays. I think we only have 2 on the slate right now that we're going with. We're taking Restrepo to get a touchdown. He's had 5 in his last 5 games. Obviously, 3 of those came against Duke, but he's been playing really well. Obviously, this Miami team should score like 40-plus points against Wake Forest like they do every single week. Wake Forest gives up a ton of passing yards, ton of passing touchdowns, so not a great defense. So Miami should score 40-plus points, and if they do, Restrepo should easily be able to get one of those touchdowns. Really not too much to go over. They just should score a lot of points, should have 3-4 passing touchdowns easily, and Restrepo should get one of those. So I like Restrepo right there as a Goblin play. And then we'll hop into Shedeur Sanders. So we're going to be taking Shedeur Sanders Goblin play, and this is the last one we're taking. We're just taking him over 1.5 passing touchdowns. He hits this basically every play. He's playing Kansas, who's just, not the best defense in the world, not the worst defense in the world, pretty right down the middle. But this should be a pretty good game. Should be a really close game, or a big game for Colorado at least. Kansas has been playing really well lately, but they still give up a lot of passing touchdowns and passing yards and everything. So I like Shedeur Sanders kind of just as a throw in, just because he does hit this almost every single game. There's no reason to not throw him in the play as well. And then after him, we're going to go back to actual normal plays. So this is the last play I found to add in on this 6-man, but I actually really like it. It's one of my favorite plays of the day. Bryson Daly, the Army quarterback, going up against Notre Dame to go over 88.5 rushing yards. This line is actually the most disrespectful line. Whether he hits it or not, I don't care. Just straight up, this is the most disrespectful line I've seen all season in any sport. I am not exaggerating because, like I said, whether he goes under or over, you cannot set this guy's line at 88.5 yards. That is so messed up because if you guys don't know anything about Army or what they do or who Bryson Daly is, Army forever throughout history only runs the ball. Yes, they have a quarterback. He's literally a running back. They basically play Wildcat. They're either handing it off or he's pulling it and taking it himself. So he gets like 15 to 20 carries a game. So he runs the ball a ton. Think about Lamar Jackson on steroids as far as just how many times they run the ball. So Bryson Daly is a running back, and he's gotten over 100 yards every single game this season, except the first game of the season, which I don't even really count because it's the first game of the season. But other than that, he's gone way over 100 yards every single game. Yes, he is playing Notre Dame. A lot of you guys might be thinking, okay, but he's playing Notre Dame. That's a great defense, so obviously his line's lower. Sure, you can say that, but Navy, who played Notre Dame, is basically the exact same thing, and their quarterback had 130 rushing yards against Notre Dame, and he is way worse than Bryson Daly, and Navy's, whole offensive scheme and offensive line, their play calling, way worse than Army. So Army is way better. Bryson Daly is way better. And even Navy's quarterback averaged over 9 yards a carry and had 130 yards against Notre Dame. So I think this game's going to be really good. I actually think it's going to be somewhat of a close game. And I think Bryson Daly should definitely be able to go over that 88.5 rushing yards. Like I said, he's hit it every single game this season. So I like that play a lot. I'm not scared. I think that line's just really low just because it's Notre Dame and everybody's scared of Notre Dame because of just, the title of their name. But the last play we're going to be going with is going to be in the Indiana game. We're going to be taking Curtis Rourke over his passing yards at 221.5. This should be a really good game. Obviously, Ohio State with Will Howard and Curtis Rourke, both quarterbacks, great quarterbacks. If you look at their completion percentages this year, both over, I want to say, 60% or something like that. They're both like top 10 in the country in completion percentage. You can look at all the advanced stats like passes 20 yards plus down the field. They're both over like 50% completion rate, which is just crazy. But basically, I'm taking this because Indiana should be losing pretty much this entire game, or at least most of this game. And if they are, obviously, Indiana should be passing the ball a lot. This is a really good passing offense, really good passing quarterback. A little bit underrated still just because it's Indiana and people don't have a lot of faith in them or a lot of trust in them. I like Indiana a lot. Obviously, I love their head coach a lot. So I think 221 passing yards is just too low of a line. I would have liked to see him more at like 235, maybe 240 even, but 221.5. He definitely is going to have over 200 yards in this game, I think. I don't want to jinx it, but I definitely think he should have over 200 yards. So hopefully he could get over that line of 221. But that's going to be the 6 plays I have for you guys. Again, do not put this play in on Prizepicks because we have a couple goblins. Prizepicks bumps this down all the way down to only a 10x play. So again, if you guys go get on Sleeper with code GHOST, get your $1,500 deposit match. Look right here. 18x. This is the exact same play. Only difference is Shedeur Sanders is at 2.5 touchdowns and not 1.5 touchdowns. But even if I checked, and even if you take Sanders out and only have the rest of the guys on this list, so the 5-man, it still pays out 11x. So it still pays out more than Prizepicks. I know what you guys are thinking right now. Okay, but that's because it's a flex play on Prizepicks and it's not a flex play on Sleeper. Sure, that is true, but that argument still doesn't even hold up because when you flex this play on Sleeper, it still pays out more than it does on Prizepicks. So I still, whether you want to flex the play or go for all 6, which by the way, we have hit a 6-man on this channel earlier this year. So I like doing all 6, but you guys can do what you want to do. But if you even want to flex the play, it still pays more on Sleeper. So I still would recommend to get on Sleeper. And again, you do get a $1,500 deposit match just for hopping on Sleeper with code GHOST right now. So even if you don't really care about this play and you're only going to take like 2 of these guys, I would still hop on Sleeper to get your $1,500 for free. But these are going to be the plays for the games on Saturday, guys. Again, make sure to drop a like on the video. I would really, really appreciate that. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss any of the future videos. And other than that, guys, these are the plays for the games on Saturday. Good luck with all your bets, and I'll catch you in the next video.